Thanks, Philip, and good afternoon, everyone. And I thank you for coming down to Ballymore at short notice this afternoon. I'd like to give you an update in a couple of areas around coaching of the Queensland Reds. This morning I met with Nick Stiles, his position as head coach of the Queensland Reds. We've agreed at that meeting this morning that Nick won't be the coach going forward, effective immediately. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the wonderful contribution that Nick has made to Queensland Rugby. 15 years or so Nick has been here as a player, staff member and coach, and more recently, probably in the last 4 years, as part of the coaching structure of the Queensland Reds. So I just want to say again, I want to say thank you and acknowledge Nick's contribution. I'm also here to announce the appointment of Brad Thorn, effective immediately as head coach of the Queensland Reds. A lot of you will know that Brad is a man of outstanding character, and a lot of you will know the performance, his performances as a player in both codes, and a World Cup winning rugby player. Over the last couple of years, Brad has made an enormous contribution, particularly our younger players, and we're now starting to see a lot of the fruits of that influence from Brad, and some of these players come through to Wallaby honours. So I'd like to take this opportunity now to present Brad Thorn, as the head coach of Queensland Reds. Brad?
Hey guys, how are we?
Congratulations.
Thanks guys, cheers. Yeah, cheers.
Does it come as a shock to you, or is it coming sooner than you thought it would?
Just go to your left, Brad.
Sorry. Happy?
Yep,
Okay. Yeah, it's to be honest, when I've come back to Australia after a long career, I wasn't really sure how things were going to pan out. It was good to come back here, be involved in rugby, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my time here. I've enjoyed working with the young guys in the 20s, the NRC, in the gym, with the senior squad and my little bit parts there. So yeah, it's come along, and I'm pleased with the opportunity.
Undoubtedly there'll be some question marks. You haven't done a lot of coaching. It's fairly new to it, but what do you bring to the role?
Yeah, I'm definitely, no question, I'm new to the game, but probably number one thing is care. I'm big on caring about the team, caring about each other. I'm big on caring about the cause that you're trying to achieve, you're striving for. I'm big on caring about who you represent, be that your family and the fans and stuff like that. So I'm massive on that. I'm massive on, obviously, working hard. Talent's not enough. And a standard, having high standards, I talk about striving for excellence with all the teams I'm part of, and, that's something that, I've sort of tried to drive with the teams, so yeah.
Sorry, so how do you turn the Reds into a winning force again? Is it an attitude thing? Do you need new players? Is it different tactics?
I think for me this year, the NRC, the countryside's been a bit of a test case for me, it's given me a little bit of belief, seeing if you could work on a culture and see some change. And I know it's only early days, and I know it's a short season with NRC, but there's been a big change with that group. And so yeah, I think, like I said before, caring, how investing in the guys, them wanting to play for each other. When tough times come along, if you care about each other enough, you'll keep fronting up. If you care about what we're trying to achieve enough, you'll make sacrifices. If you care about who you're representing, the jersey you represent, you'll do, sometimes some incredible things. So I think there's a reasonable group of guys here. There's a lot of young talent coming through. I've got to see that through working with the 20s, the NRC, going into the schools the last 2 years. It's been a really good sort of grounding there. I think there's some real positive signs for the club.
You bring a bit of that All Black culture that you learned from the All Blacks with you, do you think?
Yeah, well, you know, the Broncos had a reasonable culture. You know, the Crusaders, you know, and the All Blacks obviously have a strong culture. So I guess you know, I'm a rookie coach, but I'm also turning 43, so you know, I'm 7 years off 50. I'm not that, you know, I've experienced some stuff, seen some, you know, got to go around the world, be in some different places, experienced different coaches and that, and, you know, yeah, I like to think that's sort of given me some good learning, you know.
And what about the support around you, Tony McGann?
Yeah, so yeah, there's a few more appointments to be made that'll get made known, I guess, in the next week or so. But mainly today's, I guess, just about, I guess, talking about my appointment and I guess a massive show of respect to Nick Stiles, who's been a Queensland servant. He's got a beautiful family. He's a good guy. So you know, it's a tough old day. For Nick, you know, it's coaching. It's a solid old gig, isn't it? So, but yeah, I guess on my side of things, yeah, you know, it's an opportunity and something I feel pretty honoured to be able to have a crack at.
Having seen the New Zealand system, been in the New Zealand system for so long, can the Australian teams catch them? Can we catch up to the All Blacks and the New Zealand franchises?
Yeah, well, mate, when I went to New Zealand in 2008, they were having a national review on the All Blacks getting knocked out of the World Cup again. So, you know, it's not always been rosy, you know. They've been going great guns and good on them. I think it can be better here, you know. I think probably one of the things that's been a driver for me to sort of get more and more involved is you know, it's been battling away a little bit, hasn't it, in Australian rugby? So, you know, coming here, coaching is no different to how I was as a player. Whenever I went somewhere, Japan, Ireland, England, I always said the same thing. I want to contribute. I want to serve this place on and off the field. And that's no different. Oh, the only difference now is I can't do that on anymore. I have to do that off. But I think, you know, with mindset, you know, working on skill set, speed of the game, you know, with a strong set of forwards, you know, you can get a reasonable game going. I think it can be achieved here. But we'll wait and see. I like to think I'm a bit more about action than probably not the best talker, but you know, hopefully, you know, we can see some stuff grow here.
Tony, did you have to?
It's a pretty tough game, isn't it? And if you don't perform, you're out to late roll.
Yeah, I was under Joe Schmidt, but it's a well-known sort of line. But to say coaches are either sacked or they're going to be sacked, there's only two. You know, so you know, I come in. Like I said, I'm not 22. I'm not 32. I'm 40. I know I'm just fresh out of the game. I sort of hang around for a long time, but you know, I've got a family. I guess I'm a middle-aged man. I understand what this game is. You know, it can be quite ruthless, and you know, sometimes you can be safe and shy away from that. And you know, sometimes you can step forward and you can embrace it and take it on and sit. You know, I guess what I'm mainly saying to you guys is, I'm not a career coach. I'm not a 20-year, 10-year coach. You know, but like I said, I come here to contribute. I feel like we've had some positive things with the 20s the last couple of years. I feel like there's some positive stuff going on. I guess that I've been involved with the NRC. You know, the stuff that I've got to do with the senior squad, with the gym, some of the training and stuff. I feel like there's been some positive stuff. So, you know, I'm keen to crack into it. I'll serve this club. And if that's not what this club needs at some point going forward, then I understand what that is. And I walk away feeling like, I didn't stand by, gave my best effort. So yeah.
Speaking of positives, there's already been a positive response from the phone calls coming to the URU, so that's one thing. You're saying that you could have the goods to get them back where they were.
Yeah, well, that's really nice to have that support. And one thing I learnt this year, I take the water on in those games. I'm in my yellow shirt, and I look at the crowd, and sometimes there were some tough scores there, and you look at them, and they're paying their hard-earned cash to come along and support, and you know that they want rugby to go well. Even my rugby league mates want union to go well here. So I appreciate that support. I take on that responsibility. I guess what I'm saying is that I acknowledge that it means something to me, and I'll make that's something I'll carry with me.
Just one more from me. Wayne Bennett, is he going to be someone you already have tap into him?
Yeah. Well, I got to tuck in for 10 years as a player. I with him most days. But there's many guys, who like I said, have had impacts on me. Sorry. I'll just, I'm sure if I get the chance to bump into Wayne, have a chat or whatever. But at the moment, I'm actually in the middle of coaching at the moment, and I guess with this appointment, I'll be also prepping for the pre-season. So yeah.
What have you found the hardest thing about coaching compared to playing the game?
Not playing. Yeah. The last 2 games of the NRC on game day, I don't probably make the players a bit uncomfortable, but it's hard for me not to walk around the room. I just love that. I love that time. I love to play. So yeah. But this is a great connection. If you're not playing, this is a pretty cool connection in it, to be with the guys, to work with them, to hopefully serve the team as best you can, to get them to a place where they can perform. And I always say that 30 minutes after a game has always been the best time. When you've played your heart out for your mates. Sometimes even if you've lost, it doesn't. You sit there and you have that special sort of time together. It's good.